everyone. This is the seventh lecture of the control system series, and in this video we are going to discuss questions related to time response only. This video is specially dedicated to questions only, so if you are here to watch lectures only, you can skip this one. Okay, so without any delay, let's start and move on to our first question. A second order system with a 0 at -2 has its poles located at -3 plus J4 and -3 minus J4 in the S-plane. The undamped natural frequency means omega n and the damping factor means zeta of the system are respectively R. तो अब जो जैसा कि हम लोगों ने देखा था कि पोल्स को कैसे रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं फॉर अ सेकेंड ऑर्डर सिस्टम, हाउ डू वी रिप्रेजेंट पोल्स of a second order system. Let's draw a diagram over here, okay, that how these poles are represented. Zero, we don't consider zero for calculating omega n and zeta, so poles will be considered only. So now let's see how we are going to represent this. Okay, -3, this is 3 unit and this is 4 unit, and this, so this will be -3 plus J4 and below will be -3 minus J4. Okay, so this is angle phi, and as we have calculated earlier, this thing, this hypotenuse of this triangle gives us omega n, that is undamped natural frequency, as we have derived this thing earlier. Okay, now let's see, this is zeta minus zeta omega n plus j omega d, as we have seen it in our previous lectures. Okay, so in place of minus zeta omega n we have -3, and in place of plus minus j omega d we have j4. So zeta omega n is 3 and omega d is 4. So omega n हमारा कैसे निकलेगा, ये हमारा राइट एंगल ट्राइंगल है, तो ये परपेंडिकुलर है और ये बेस है, तो ओमेगा n निकालने के लिए we have to use Pythagoras theorem, and 3 square plus 4 square under root, that give us 5 square. So the frequency will be 5 radian per second. So we have 5 here and here. So B, either B or D could be answer. Now let's find zeta and see what will our answer could be. So as we know, zeta is given as cosine of this angle. So to find cosine, we have to take base upon hypotenuse. Base is 3, hypotenuse is 5, as we have calculated here. So 3 upon 5 is 0.6. So here option D will be correct. D option. Okay. So now we will move to our next question. The transient response of second order underdamped system starting from rest is given by this equation. The natural frequency of the system is, means it is asking about omega n. So our given equation is this. We have to compare it by our this final equation, what we are getting there. Okay. So now we will have, in place of zeta omega n we have 6, and in place of omega d we have 8. So as we have done in our previous question, we will represent these things in S-plane like this. Okay, so zeta omega n is 6, so 6 unit minus, and omega d is 8, so 8 unit here, and we have to find omega n. Now we have to find omega n, we can apply Pythagoras theorem and we can have it as 10. This is our required answer. So now we will see about our next question. This step input to a unity feedback system shown in the figure, this figure, the peak time of the time for peak overshoot is nearly, means it is asking about peak time. It is asking about time, not for peak overshoot. time means it is asking about peak time. So peak time is given as pi upon omega d for a second order system. And if we compare to find omega d, we have to find omega n and zeta. So if we compare this open loop transfer function with this open loop transfer function, we will have omega n square as 25. So omega n will be given as 5, and 2 zeta omega n is 6 here. So 2 zeta omega n is 6. Now we have all the terms here. So I'm removing this figure. Now let's see here. 2 zeta omega n is 6. So zeta omega n is 3. And now we have to put the value of omega n from here to here. So zeta will be 3 upon 5. That will be equal to 0.6 or 0.6. To find omega d, we have this formula. Omega d is equal to omega n under root 1 minus zeta square. So we have to just put the values here. Omega n 5 minus this will become 0.8. So it will become 4. So peak time will be pi upon omega d, that is 4. Pi upon 4. Pi upon 4, which is equal to 0.785. That is the approximate equal to 0.79. So C here will be our answer. C. Our answer will be C. Now we will move to our next question. A system has a transfer function this for a unit step response and 2% tolerance band. The settling time will be. Here it is asking about the settling time. So as we know the formula that at 2% tolerance, the settling time is given as 4 into time constant. And the time constant for this type of system in second order system is given as 1 upon zeta omega n. So we have to find zeta and omega n from this transfer function. So we can find out by comparing this by our standard transfer function. So this is our transfer function and this is our generalized transfer function. So omega n square, as we can see, is 4. So omega n will be 2 and 2 zeta omega n is 1.6. So 2 zeta n is 1.6. So zeta omega n is 0.8. And we require the value of zeta omega n only here, zeta omega n. Okay, so we'll not solve it further and we'll find time constant from here only. So the time constant will be given as 1 upon 0.8 and the settling time will be given as 4 into time constant, 4 into 1 upon 0.8. So it will become 5 seconds. So A will be the correct answer here. 5 seconds will be the correct answer here. Okay, so now we will move to our next question. In this question, we have to match this list 1 with list 2 in the correct order. ठीक है, list 1 से list 2 में मैच करना है करेक्ट ऑर्डर में. अब हमें निकालना यहाँ पे ये है कि इसमें से कौन सा मतलब अंडर डैम्ड है, ओवर डैम्ड है, क्रिटिकली डैम्ड है, ये सब हमें फाइंड करना है. ठीक है, तो अब वो कैसे करेंगे हम लोग. तो उसके लिए हम लोग देखते हैं यहाँ पे पहले एक एक करके सारा ट्रांसफर, ये मतलब कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स इक्वेशन इसको कहेंगे, ये चीज लेते हैं. ठीक, और हम जनरलाइज वाले के साथ कंपेयर करेंगे. वी विल टेक ईच कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन सेपरेटली एंड विल कंपेयर इट विथ जनरलाइज्ड वन एंड विल फाइंड zeta to say that our system is what, critically under, over, etc. Okay, so let's take a look over our generalized characteristic equation, which is given as this. Okay, we all know and we have studied about it. So now take the first one, P. This is our first one. Here 2 zeta omega n. First start with omega n square. So omega n square is 64. So omega n is 8. 2 zeta omega n is 18. It is 18. Zeta omega n is 9. So it is 9. So now we have to find zeta. So zeta is 9 upon omega n, which is 9 upon 8. Zeta is 9 upon 8, 1.125, which is greater than 1. Just remember this. This is greater than 1. So for greater than 1, the system is overdamped. So P will be, for P, it will be 4, overdamped. So now we will move to next. Next is S square plus 25. Here omega n square is 25, so omega n is 5. 2 zeta omega n 0 because the multiple of S is 0 here. So zeta will also be 0. So for zeta 0, we have studied that it gives a undamped response, means oscillatory response. Okay. So for this second one, it will be 3, undamped. It will be matched with undamped. So let's match it here, undamped. Now we will see about the next one. This here omega n square is 36, omega n 6, 2 zeta omega n 12. So zeta omega n will be 6. Now we have to divide it by omega n. So 6 upon 6 will be 1. So here it is 1. 1 for zeta equal to 1 means the system is critically damped here. So R will go with 2. Now I think the option will be clear to you, but let's solve the fourth one because here we are practicing only. So answer will be D. But let's solve here for practicing only. Solve for this also and see the system is underdamped or not. Okay, means zeta is less than 1 or not. So it is S square plus 8S plus 25. Omega n square is 25. Omega n will be 5. 2 zeta omega n 8. So zeta omega n will be 4. And now we have to divide it by omega n. So it will be 4 upon 5. That will give zeta as 0.8, which is less than 1. So it will be underdamped. Option will be D here. So now let's see about our next question. Similar thing we have to do here. We have to match the list 1 with list 2. But here we have given damping constant, that is zeta, and on the basis of that we have to match the type of the response or type of the system. Okay, so just remember this slide, what I have told you, that zeta equal to, for zeta equal to 0 it is undamped, for zeta equal to 1 it is critically, for greater than 1 it is overdamped, and for less than 1 it is underdamped. So now let me write over here also. Let me clear this. Okay, that's enough. Now for zeta less than 1 it will be underdamped. Greater than equal to, 4 cases are there. For less than 1 it will be underdamped. For greater than 1 it will be overdamped. For is equal to 1 it will be critically damped. On for greater than 0 it will be undamped response. Okay, so now let's match it. For 0.5, which is less than 1, underdamped, means 1 will go with Q, or Q will go with 1. Okay, Q1, either C or D. Second one is 2, which is overdamped. So overdamped is S. S means 2 is going with S. S and 2. So the answer will be, answer here will be C. P undamped is 3. So P3 Q1. P3 Q1. Answer will be C here. S2. Okay. Answer will be C. C is the correct answer here. I hope you understand this question. Now let's move to next question. The next question is also, we have to match this response with the location of the poles. So just remember the similar slide here, that for location of poles, what type of response is there. Okay, and so I'm just marking what type of response is on the basis of my slide which I have taught you. Okay, so for first, this is distinct, real but distinct, real but for real but distinct it is overdamped. So let's mark here overdamped. For second, it is complex conjugate. complex negative complex conjugate. Okay, so it is given in underdamped. So let's mark here under. For this is the undamped response or marginally stable, as you can see that. So we are going to mark it as undamped, and this is case for unstable system because poles are residing on the right half of the S-plane. I have not taught you this, but we are going to cover this in our next session about stability, that how system goes unstable if the poles are lying on the right half of the plane. Okay, or in other words, if the pole lies on the right, the system is considered as unstable. So poles are right here, so let's mark it as unstable for now, unstable. And now let's remember our another slide which I have told you in the form of table. The underdamped response is given as this. Okay, so we have this response which is decaying type, exponentially decaying type response, is matched with this which is underdamped, location of poles for underdamped response. So B will be given as 2, B2, we have to find B2. Okay, so either C or D will be correct. And for overdamped, the response will look like this. So over is this and the respective response is this. So C will be 1, B2, C1, again either C or D. And now for undamped, this is the undamped one. The response is oscillatory and never decaying. So here A we have which is oscillatory and never decaying. So for A we have third, undamped. So A will be 3. So here D will be the option. And now for let's see for D also, unstable. As I've told you a little bit about instability, that if it is never settling and going towards infinity, it will be unstable. So as you can see in D, it is not settling anywhere and going towards infinite. So it will be underdamped unstable response. Okay, so here the answer will be D. I hope this question is easily understood for all of you. So now I am moving on to our next question. Which of the following system has maximum peak overshoot due to a unit step input? So to solve this question, just remember this slide. As I've told you there that lesser the value of zeta, larger will be the overshoot. मतलब कि zeta का वैल्यू जितना कम होगा सबसे ज्यादा पीक ओवरशूट उसी में आएगा. ठीक है, जैसे यहाँ 0.5 है, यहाँ 0.2 है, सबसे ज्यादा पीक ओवरशूट उसी में आएगा. सो नाउ लेट्स गो टू आवर क्वेश्चन. तो अब हमें इसमें यही निकालना होगा कि जो जीटा का वैल्यू सबसे कम कौन से वाले ट्रांसफर फंक्शन में है. वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट ओनली दैट in which transfer function we have the least value of zeta. So let's see how we are going to do that. As we can see that omega n square is 100 in all of them. So we write it separately that omega n square is 100. So omega n is 10. And now let's see our option A, which is Wohs characteristics equation is given by this. So 2 zeta omega n is 10. Okay. And omega n is 10 also. So zeta omega n is 5. So zeta will be 5 upon 10, that is 0.5. And now let's say our option B, characteristic equation. Then 2 zeta omega n is 15. So zeta omega n is 7.5. So omega n is 10. So it will become 0.75. Okay, which is greater than this. Now let's see about C. Zeta omega n is 5. So 2 zeta omega n is 5. So zeta omega n is 2.5. So zeta will be 0.25. Now let's see about D. 2 zeta omega n is 20. Zeta omega n is 10. So zeta will be 10 upon 10, 1. So as you can see that we have minimum zeta for case C or option C only. So maximum overshoot is given by this transfer function only. So here we have option C as the correct one. Option C. So now I'm going to move to next question. A second order system has the following properties. The damping ratio zeta equal to 0.5 and undamped natural frequency omega n is 10 radian per second. B. The steady state value of output to a unit step input is 1.02. The transfer function of the system is. So we have given about we have given omega n and zeta are given. Okay, so we can find transfer function by putting these values. But in the second case, it also given that steady state value is 1.02. Steady state value, as I've told you, means when s is equal to 0, then the value is 1.02, not 1. So we have to multiply it with k over here. Okay, and put the values of omega n and zeta. So omega n square, this, we have to put zeta 0.5. Okay, 0.5 and 2 will be 1 into 2 will be 1, mathematical calculation. So further simplifying it, it will be give 100k, yeah, or k into 100 upon s square plus 10s plus 100. Now this it says that when s equal to 0 or the steady state value is 1.02, so put s equal to 0, it will become 1.02. Okay, so it will become 0, this will become 0, 100 and 100 will get cancelled out, so k will be given as 1.02. Now we have to put the value of k in this equation, and that will be our required final transfer function. Okay, k is 1.02 into 100, so it will become 102 upon s square plus 10s plus 100, which is given as option B. So option B will be our correct answer. So now I am moving on to next question. For a system S upon 2 upon S plus 1, the approximate time taken for response to reach 98% of its final value is. So here it is saying 98%. Okay, by 98%, it means that we have the overall response 100%, it reaches 98%, and 2% left, means 2% tolerated. So we have to find it by for 2% tolerance. Find what? Find settling time for 2% tolerance. ठीक है, मतलब इसमें यही पूछा है कि देखो 98% तक होता है, तो 100 में से 98 गया कितना हो जाए 2%, मीन्स 2% टॉलरेबल है. तो इसको मैंने बताया था कि इसको कहते हैं कि 2% टॉलरेंस. तो 2% टॉलरेंस पे सेटलिंग टाइम निकालना है. सो सेटलिंग टाइम फॉर 2% टॉलरेंस इज गिवन एज 4 into टाइम कांस्टेंट, and time constant for any system is given as mod of 1 upon real part of smallest pole. Okay, so let's find the pole. In this pole will be given as s plus 1 equal to 0, so s equal to minus 1. Pole is that s equal to minus 1. So tau or time constant will be mod of 1 upon minus 1, it will be given as 1. So settling time will be 4 into time constant. So 4 into 1 will be 4. So settling time will be 4 seconds. So here option C will be the correct answer. Now we will move to next question. Again we have two columns and we have to match this PQR to 1, 2, 3, and we have to find that what kind of response is this, critically under or over. Okay, so let's start with P. Okay, let's start with P. So as you can see that this is not a perfect square, omega n square, which it is not a perfect square. So how we are going to do it in a simple way? We have to do nothing, just take it as omega n square only. Okay, so 2 zeta omega n is 5, so square this term, square this 2 zeta omega n both sides. it will give you 4 zeta square omega square n upon is equal to 25. So now omega n square is 15. Okay. So first find zeta square omega square n. It will become 6.25 as it 25 is divided by 4. So omega n square is 15. So 6.25 upon 15. So zeta will be given as 6.25 upon 15 whole under root. Okay. Which will be less than 1. And for less than 1, we have response as underdamped. So P here will be 3. And we have to do it similarly for Q and R also. Q is this, omega n square is 25, 2 zeta omega n is 10. Okay, multiple of S. So square both sides. And we have 25, the value of zeta square omega square n. So put omega n square here. So zeta will be equal to 1. Okay. So for equal to 1, it is critically damped. So Q is 2. And for R, it is this value. And omega n square is 35. 2 zeta omega n is 18. So square this, it will become this. And zeta square omega square n will become 81. Okay, so divided by omega n square. So zeta will be given as this. This value, as you can see, that will be greater than 1. So under root will also greater than 1. Okay. So for greater than 1, we have overdamped. So R will be overdamped. So P3 Q2 R1. P3 Q2 R1 is option C. Option C will be the correct answer here. So now we will move to our next question. A unity feedback system has open loop transfer function. This, the peak overshoot in the step input response of the system is approximately equal to. So here we have to find the peak overshoot MP. Okay. So for that, first we have to calculate what is zeta and what is omega n. So we can find out by comparing this open loop transfer function with this open loop transfer function. So omega n square is given as 25, 2 zeta omega n is 6. Okay, omega n is 5 here. And let's get rid of this figure now. So zeta omega n is 3. And now we have to divide it by 5. So the value of zeta will be 0.6 and omega n is 5. So for calculating the peak overshoot, only zeta is required. And the formula for peak overshoot is given as this. So now we have to put the value of zeta, that is 0.6 in this one, to get the maximum percentage maximum peak overshoot. It is asking in percent, so I'm multiplying it by 100. Okay. So the denominator will be 0.8. Okay. Now it will become 0.75. And now we have to calculate this term by using calculator. As you know that calculator is allowed in the GATE examination. So after calculating, it will be given as this, and final result will be 9.47, which is nearly equal to 10%. So the answer will be B, 10%. Now we will move to our next question. Consider a causal LTI system. LTI means linear time invariant, characterized by differential equation. This, the response of the system to the input xt e raised to power minus t by 3 ut. This is minus here, where ut denotes the unit step function is. So first we have to write this equation here. Y denotes the output, x denotes the input. So now we have to find the transfer function first. So for transfer function, as we know that initial conditions are 0. So just take the Laplace of this. So this will be given as s into ys plus yt will be ys, xt will be xs. So for transfer function, output upon input. So now let's take y common, and y is output and x is input. So y by x will be the transfer function. Y by x will be given as this 3 upon s plus 6. Now we have to find xs. So for xs, xt is given as this, and we have to take the Laplace of this. So Laplace of this will be 3 upon s plus 1 by 3. 3 upon s plus 1 by 3. So now we have to put the value of xs in this, and we have to take the inverse Laplace to find yt, or you can say the response. Okay, so now it will be given as this, xs is multiplied in this. Now it will overall, it will become 9 into this whole thing and on denominator, and we can solve it by partial fraction. So by separating this with partial fraction, we will get this thing. And now for yt, we have to take the inverse Laplace of this. So Laplace inverse of this will be e raised to the power minus t by 6 into ut, and for this will be e raised to the power minus t by 3 into ut, and 54 will be the coefficient, remains as it is. So the answer will be this, or the answer will be D. This is the overall solution of this problem, and the answer will be D. So now let's see about our next question. The transfer function of a given system is this, the system is. So here we have to only tell the nature of the system, that what it is, critically, under or over, etc. So let's find out what the system is. By we have to find the value of zeta, and we can do that by comparing with our generalized transfer function. Okay, so omega n square is 100, 2 zeta omega n is 20, omega n square 100, omega n is 10, 2 zeta omega n is 20, so zeta omega n is 10. Okay, now put the value of omega n here and find zeta, so it will be 1. So for zeta equal to 1, the system is critically damped system. So the answer will be C. C. Okay, so now let's see the last question of the session. Question number 15. A control system with a certain excitation is governed by the following mathematical equation. This equation. The natural time constant of the response of the system are. अब यहाँ पे टाइम कांस्टेंट्स निकालने हैं, मतलब कि दो जो टाइम कांस्टेंट होते हैं वो हो क्या सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो पहले हम लोग इस सिस्टम को लिख लेते हैं यहाँ पे. ठीक है, और यहाँ पे मैंने 80 एक वेरिएबल कंसीडर कर लिया ताकि सॉल्व करने में थोड़ा आसानी हो. इसको ट्रांसफर फंक्शन के फॉर्म में बदला जा सके आराम से, मतलब आउटपुट अपॉन इनपुट, समझाने के लिए सिर्फ लिया है, यहाँ पे है नहीं क्वेश्चन में. आई जस्ट टेकन 80 फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग पर्पस. ओके, सो नाउ लेट्स टेक द Laplace of this, and the initial condition will be 0 as always, because transfer function has no initial condition. So has order 2, so s square will demultiply, order 1, so s will be multiplied here. So now we will take xs as common, and xs here is output, so output upon as is the transfer function, but we don't have to find the response here. So we are not going to do that output upon input and then take Laplace inverse. We just have to find the time constants here. So for time constants, as we know that roots of poles are taken only. So the pole will be here, this, as it will go here in the denominator, this. So this will be pole. So we can directly calculate the time constant by equating this term to 0. So now let's see how we are going to calculate it. So now we equate this term, and now we have to calculate what will be the poles of S. So poles of S will be given as minus 1 by 3 and plus 1 by 6. And now we have to time constant for both of them, for 1 by 3 and 1 by 6. So for 1 by 3, the time constant will be 1 upon the real part of the smallest pole. But here small, big are not considered because it has asked the time constants, mean both the time constants or time constant on both the poles. So on the first, it will be this denominator, it will go up in the numerator and it will become 3. Similarly for minus 1 by 6, it will become 1 upon 6, it will become 6. So the time constants will be 3 second and 6 second. Okay. So now that's all for this question session, and in our next class we are going to have stability started. Okay. So in the next lecture I am going to discuss about stability, stable system, unstable system. Okay, so let's wind up here and see you guys in next class. Okay, until that, thank you.